Hey, welcome to our 25-day Advent devotional. My name is John, and I'm excited to be with you on these video devotionals. It'll be me, but also a number of our staff helping make sure that you don't miss Christ this Christmas. Christmas is an incredible time of year. You know that, I know that. And yet it's the Advent. It's a time where Christians around the world remember the arrival of Jesus. That's what Advent means, arrival. And at the same time, we are preparing ourselves and making sure that we're ready for the second Advent when Jesus comes again. And so, welcome to our 25-day Advent devotional. Each day, we're going to do a short reading, and then we'll make a couple comments on that, and then we'll wrap it up. But for today, the reading comes from Isaiah chapter 9. Let me read this to you. These words that I'm about to read to you are 600 years before that first Christmas. So 600 years before that first Advent, these words are written. This prophecy is amazing. And it says this: the people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. And so the context in Isaiah was one of darkness. Surrounding them right then and that time was one of difficulty, one of pain. There was actually battles that were happening. Assyria, that empire, was pillaging them and in many ways exiling. It was just a terrible situation. And so surrounding the people of God back then was darkness. And here's what I know, and here's what you know. Surrounding the people of God right now, well, it's darkness as well. But why is that? Well, you and I both know that we live in a broken world. Although there are lights, we've strung lights on the tree, there's lights on our home, we love looking at lights, we also know that we are living in dark times. So were they. And every time I come back to these words, I'm encouraged. This prophecy is amazing that these people walking in darkness have seen a great light, meaning that day is coming when Jesus would arrive. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. So let me ask you this question: what feels dark this Christmas? And my guess is for you, it's a variety of things. It could be physical. Last night I woke up at like 2:30 in the morning with heartburn, and I'm like, oh man, just a reminder that I don't know, maybe I'm getting old or maybe I'm feeling stressed. But I was reminded of that 2:30 in the morning. For some of us, it's physical. For some of you, it's a diagnosis. It's something you did not anticipate. The darkness that some of you are experiencing is relational. It's with your family. And you're like, man, how am I going to celebrate Christmas this year with all of these things surrounding me? And so I want to encourage you, if darkness is something that you're feeling, the good news is this: Jesus is the light for your darkness. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today's devotional, it's that Jesus is the light for your darkness. And make it even more personal: Jesus is my light for my darkness. There's going to be some difficulty that I encounter this Advent season. It's true for every pastor in the world. There's a lot going on, a lot of writing, a lot of preaching, a lot of parties, a lot of everything, right? And so I need to be reminded today that Jesus is my light for those moments when I feel darkness coming in. And so light, let's talk about that for a couple minutes. Jesus is the light. And what does light do? Well, it does a number of things. We'll talk about light a few times over this Advent devotional series, but light definitely convicts. It does. Why? Well, because light is a revealer. This is why I keep my shirt on at the beach, because the light reveals a lot of our imperfections. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just keep my shirt on. I'll be fine. And so what does light do? Well, light convicts. What does Jesus do? Well, he's the light. He convicts. And so, what might he want to be revealing this Advent season? Is there anything that Jesus is wanting to expose? Anything that he's wanting to do some work on this Advent season? What if you and I were open to that? Some of the darkness in our life is darkness due to decisions that we've been making or are making right now. It's amazing that Jesus, he wants to deal with those things. He wants to reveal those things. This is what light does. Also, what does light do? Well, it comforts. I was just thinking how light is something that we're drawn to. If you're in a dark time, light is something you're drawn to. As kids, you were drawn to night lights, right? In darkness, you were like, oh man, that night light just makes you feel comforted. We're drawn to different kinds of lights. When I was in high school, it was Friday night lights because I loved to play football. In his 20s, Tommy was drawn to strobe lights. We'll just leave it there. But we're drawn to the light when we're experiencing darkness. And here's what I know: Jesus is wanting you to draw near to Him. He's drawing nearing to you. He wants you to draw near to Him. If you're experiencing darkness, He is the light for your darkness. And just one practical thing you can do to be reminded that He's with you, that He is the light for your darkness, is to light a candle in the morning. We light candles, and I don't light candles to like saints and things like that. I don't do that. But I light candles as a way to remind me that, oh man, this is a sacred moment. Jesus is my light. And so these are a couple of the candles that I like to use. This is a wood wick candle. It sounds like a fireplace when you light it. Smells good. Even this morning, super early, it was dark. I lit that candle and I spent time in the presence of Jesus. It was great. These are 20-minute candles. These are kind of cool. Not sure if you've seen these, but it takes 20 minutes for these little candles to burn. And so you can light a 20-minute candle, spend time with Jesus. Maybe for you, it's not candles. Maybe it's just lighting your Christmas tree in the morning. Start out in the darkness, feel that, and then turn on the light and feel that. And this is who Jesus is. He is the light for your darkness. That's all we have for today on day one of our Advent series. We'll see you guys tomorrow for day two. Have a great day.